Welcome to the greatest podcast you're going to see this week. Well, until tomorrow. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the Tavern. Yeah. I think he's back to form. He fell off a little bit last year, but he also was named Ryder Cup captain. Give me some red. Uh-oh! The biggest podcast of the week so far. Right here.
Correct.
Live.
Right here.
In the Tavern. Nothing's going to beat it this week. Hey, shout out to the Kelsey brothers in New Heights. You're going to knock it out of the park this week.
I think the internet's going to break tomorrow
one.
night. So
Yeah.
the internet's going to explode tomorrow night.
But if you want to watch the greatest one until tomorrow, right now, this is the place to be. We're going to talk some golf. We got a lot of fun stuff going on for us. We also got somebody else waiting in the wings here. But with that, Steve, how was your week?
Saturday I actually hung out Saturday with two friends of the show. And that being the Orlando Golfer and Wedge FX.
Oh, nice.
So I got to see both of them this weekend. And then
Happy
Sunday,
anniversary to Lee and his beautiful wife. Happy anniversary. Yes. Last week. That's why you got to see them. They were down there for their anniversary.
They were in Orlando. And then on Sunday, the Orlando Golfer and I went up to play Black Diamond Ranch. And we played the ranch course. And I have to tell you, it was just redone by Trip Davis. What a great layout. Fun test of golf. And something you don't get a lot of in Florida is elevation change. And there's a ton of elevation change. Really excited to put some content out there on our socials because it was just a really fun round of golf. And I have to tell, I like the ranch course and the quarry course at Black Diamond gets all the publicity. The holes around the quarry are obviously incredible, but the ranch course, and they have the quarry course, the ranch course, they have a Highlands course, and they have a 9-hole par 3 course.
Oh, nice.
So the Highlands course is another 9-hole course. They have 2 9-hole facilities plus the 2 18-hole facilities. And we played it all the way back, and it was a great test of golf. Great bunkering, great layout, great condition. Really firm. Obviously, the course has been redone. The greens have been redone, and really good. Like you got that bounce when you landed on the green, and you could hear it thud like on a tour green because they were new greens. Our favorite hole, both of us kind of had the same favorite hole as the 16th hole. It was a 600-yard par 5. Played kind of downhill a little bit. Had a split fairway down with some trees in the middle of it that you had to make a decision. Do you go past it? Do you lap short of it? Do you hit around it? And then you got there and you could see we were both standing in the middle of the fairway and thought the flag was back. The flag was actually middle and the green sloped down away from you and it kept going. Like it was a great hole. And so kudos to Trip Davis on the job that he did there. We did sneak over. They let us go out and take pictures on the quarry course. And got to play the 15th hole in the quarry, which is the hole that everybody goes to. You've got that elevated tee shot down into the quarry, and it was awesome. Really fun, really cool. We actually only really hit like 5 tee shots. We hit 5 balls. That's it around the quarry course. But you know, the reason we were there in the ranch course, you can't sleep on the ranch. Like the quarry gets all the fame, but you can't sleep on the ranch. It's incredible. It's incredible property. So it was fun to be there. I think we're going to go back, actually do some work. Kudos to Mason, the pro there. He's a super good dude. And thank you for having us out. We appreciate it.
Well, and that's one of the things. If you've never played quarry golf, any golf course that's built into an old quarry like that has some amazing holes, amazing views. It's an amazing golf architectural landscape
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
think more people need to use. And that's a great way to use an old quarry that's not in use anymore, is to make a golf course around it, because you'll have some beautiful, spectacular holes. And a lot of those courses that have a signature course, let's say, like a TPC Sawgrass, like a TPC Scottsdale, the secondary course that doesn't get as much love usually is phenomenal, and you can get at a much better rate. So do not sleep on those.
And I will say this
ever.
I will say this about the ranch course. It's a playable golf course for every level of player, then you could play well on it. And that's what I really liked about it. Yes, there's the elevation change, and like the first hole, you hit this tee shot out, and then you're downhill. It plays down like 7 yards from the top of the fairway. I hit my drive to the top of the fairway, and it was down 7 from the number. But we also had, and you guys may have seen it on our social medias, we did T-Box Dice on the 17th hole there that was literally playing 255 yards from the back tees. And nice. It was, and that was fun. If you guys haven't gotten T-Box Dice, go and buy some T-Box Dice. It's pretty amazing. But it was a fun golf course all the way around. And again, it's not one you could sleep on, because it was awesome. So how was your weekend, Greg?
So I played in my father-in-law's Illinois band directors golf outing. We do a scramble each year. They play in like a weekly events all throughout the summer, and they do a scramble each year that we play in. That we have won 3 years in a row and lost last year. Our captain of our team unfortunately passed away, and this year every team honored him by wearing his favorite color. We were always the green team, so everyone wore green, had the same team colors on this week. It was a fun event. Everyone had a great time honoring Cliff, and we unfortunately didn't play our best. We lost. We didn't.
Obviously, Cliff was the glue there.
Cliff was the glue there. Cliff helped out and made a tremendous impact. But I will tell you, the DS Adapt driver from Cobra was hitting bombs out there and really made a difference out there. My drives were great ever since I've switched to this. Has been phenomenal, and eagled our last hole with my drive, my approach, and my putt to get us into a better standing than we were in there. But we came in 4th place, but had a lot of fun out there, and that was the important part about it. Had a great day out. So that was my weekend. This weekend, we're getting ready to go to the Indiana State Fair on Friday. My son had his first day of kindergarten, and he's having a lot of fun with that. He's really enjoying school, which is really nice that he's enjoying it and hasn't gotten to the point where he's got a lot of homework and everything yet. So it's been a good week for us as well. So. All right.
Hey, let's hop in the first round.
Ready to take your game to the next level? Desert Fox Golf's collegiate gear is growing fast, with over 25 universities and counting. Show off your favorite team on the course with the Phone Caddy and DJ 10 speaker. Built for easy access for every round. Perfect for students, alumni, and college sports fans looking to show off their school spirit. Gear up today at desertfoxgolf.com.
So we're gonna bring for first round. So in first round
some time.
Today, we'll bring Dave in. Dave's got some obligations today, so he's going to be in and out with us. But we appreciate you making some time for us.
You want to, since you have time right now, do you want to flip flop and do odds with Dave right now and do our previews and do our picks?
He's not prepped for odds with Dave yet. So.
Okay, I have
All
it.
right.
If you need it later.
Well, what we're going to talk right now in first round is we're in the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Let's say obligatory more quote. So playoffs kicked off this week. An exciting first round of the playoffs in the PGA. What did you all think? First of all, we're going to get into the playoffs of the playoff itself. But what did you think of the overall play this week in the first round of the playoffs? Dave, I'll start
Greg,
with you.
Greg, I think you sent the text message out to us on when Sunday started. Is this Tommy Fleetwood's to lose, or is somebody going to make a run? And as somebody that has picked Tommy, not a whole lot this year, but in the past couple of years, I think he pulled a Rory at the Masters and I think he fell apart a little bit.
Not a
he
Rory.
had it go. He got it back.
Well, he pulled a Tommy. Yeah, I mean, he pulled a Colin.
I think he made a good run there on the back, but Justin Rose being the oldest winner on tour since Phil Mickelson at the PGA is Kiowa, yeah. Yep. Is just, I think he navigated his way around the course. Now, granted, I had Scotty this week. I think Scotty Scottied himself out of it with his putting from inside of 10 feet a little bit. He played a little things too much to the left, but I think overall, first round of the playoffs, was unbelievable. Kudos to Ricky for getting into the top 50. So,
Dave, I want to ask you one question. You talk about Scotty, and this was on our topics of things to talk about tonight. Ted Scott having to leave for a family emergency on Sunday, and Scotty needing a new caddy on the bag. Do you think that cost him a win this week?
I think so, and I think we heard Bones talk about it on the broadcast that correct sounding board isn't there for Scotty. Mm-hmm. Now, all three of us have caddied for one another as well too, and there's a level of trust that is built up between the player and the caddy. Colin Malarkawa is on his 84th caddy in the last weeks.
Like 4 weeks.
So I think Scotty's good enough that he can get by with his friends on the bag, but I think Ted Scott is just a different sounding board when it comes to Scotty and how he plays.
Well, everybody else is
just in a nod. Everybody else is just in a nod and agree and be like, "You're the number one player in the world. You want to hit a 3 hybrid out of 18-inch rough and go for the green? Go ahead, you can do it." Well, whereas Ted Scott's going to say, "Here's the wedge."
I will say this: Ted Scott will not be on the bag again this week, and
correct.
Ted, we're
and he's got somebody different.
And we hope everything is okay with your family. So we do want to put that out there. So.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest impact that Ted has on Scotty is when he misses a putt or when he makes a bad decision and shot, he knows how to get him to forget about that and move on to the next shot. And that's a great caddy knows how to keep you in the right mindset on the course. And that's why the caddies are so important out there for every player that they play with, because of that. And he knows what Scotty needs to hear. He knows what to tell Scotty at the right time. And like you said, Dave, these people are filling in and they're other people's caddies, so they know, Scotty's the greatest in the world. They're not going to try to mess with.
The guy caddying this week is also Chris Kirk's caddy. So Chris isn't in the field this week. So again, it's a guy who's been out there on tour that understands what it's like to be in the thick of it. So it's still not a bad move.
It's not a bad move, but you don't understand.
Chris Kirk, a heartbreak putt on 17 for Chris Kirk.
Oh yeah,
that just did not drop in the hole.
Yeah, this was great. This is what I kind of like to see from the playoffs: is you see people rise into the next round that'll give them a better chance to even make it to Atlanta. But this playoff, let's just talk about what this playoff was.
Yeah,
it was a Ryder Cup preview. Let's be honest.
Correct.
Yeah. It went back and forth, and when you
think golf,
you're right back in it with an amazing shot.
And here's what I appreciated about the TV broadcast when they went to the playoff is the director of golf going and saying, "Okay, we'll play this twice, and if we go to a third time, we're going to cut a new hole and we'll bring you out the pin sheets. Whereas we saw it, I believe, what was Harbor Town,
Canada,
where they had to play 18.
Canada. It was Canada.
Canada.
It was RBC. So you were right in the RBC portion of it, but
I was right in the RBC. But we just hadn't. We had only had the announcers talk about it. I think it was nice to see from a TV broadcast point, like, hey, here are the rules. It's like the NFL referee explaining overtime. Here are the rules that everybody knows, but we're going to explain it for the national TV audience anyway.
Yeah, it was.
I also think the idea that both times that they recut the hole, so Canada and now this week at the FedEx, the hole after they recut it, someone won on that hole. So is that a difference maker?
Correct.
Yes, it is. The idea of moving the hole and going to a new spot that they haven't played 3 times already today can decide a playoff. So I actually think it's a good move too.
Well, and you saw that too. They, on the first 2 times they played that hole, they played it 3 times in a row, technically, on that hole spot. In regulation, twice in the playoff. They saw the same putt, whether it was their putt or the putt that their playing partner had. They knew the break. So changing that hole really is a game changer. And I think if you're going to have playoffs like this, where you're just going to play the same hole over and over
again,
you
need to change it the first.
Exactly. Or the first or second time. I like that you're changing it, because it takes time to change. It takes a few minutes, but it adds that element to it. I like it. I compare it to college football's overtime, when you have to start going for 2. It changes up your strategy. So,
I think, if you were comfortable, they talked about it, or they didn't hit driver, you didn't hit 3-wood, you hit 3-wood and 7-iron into the green, 3 times in a row, end of regulation and 2 playoffs. There's a 90% chance you're going to hit the ball in the same spot all 3 times. They said, Justin Rose was within 3 inches of the same putt that he had in the previous, putt on 18. So I say recut the hole the first time, change, make it different on these guys. And that, they are the best in the world for a reason. You don't need to give them the same spot. Change it up.
I loved seeing both of them handle the pressure very well. And like when I said, this was a Ryder Cup preview. These 2 guys, when you see them at Bethpage, it's going to be the same thing. And I hope they are paired to play against each other at Bethpage. So
I think it's time to bring the biggest guest on any podcast this week. Like I said in my Instagram
on
post.
a Tuesday.
This is the biggest guest this week on any podcast. Let's get into happy hour. Let's talk about one of our favorite topics here on the Golfing Dads, customization.
Yes.
Let's get right into it.
So we are all big fans of customization, and anytime we see a custom product out there, we definitely jump to it and go to it. And funny, some of our favorite custom people are also from Canada, whether it's Dormy Workshop, whether it's Craig at Towel Tag. And we found another custom company from Canada at that. So let's bring
Canadian
the biggest
customization is the best customization.
Let's bring the biggest guest on any podcast this week. Bram from Custom
Not going to see
7.
a bigger guest this week.
Bram, welcome to the Tavern. How are you tonight?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love how fun this is. And as a dad, I'm not doing anything right now, so this is awesome to be part of it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
I hope you enjoyed
that's all we do here. We live in igloos, we eat whale blubber, and we customize things. That's all we do.
All customization. That's what Canada's known for.
Pretty much.
So I want to start, and you guys have a pretty cool story. You've got a pretty cool business partner in that, and what you do. So kind of a 2-part question. How did Custom Sevens get a start? And then what's behind the name?
Yeah, great question. And again, thank you for having me. I'm born and raised Toronto, Canada. I am an event producer for my entire almost 25-year career. So I've been producing corporate events and activations for as long as I can remember, and I love the creativity around it. And Adidas was our client, and for about 9 years. And every event we'd go to, everybody always loved the customization. If it was a shirt, if it was a hat, if it was your shoes, everybody loved the personalization of something. Of course, everybody loves free stuff, but they love putting their name on something. And I became good friends through a friend of ours, Madison, with Kyle Lowry. 6-time NBA All-Star, NBA champ here, sort of god here in Toronto for bringing the Raptors a championship. And we started, becoming good friends. And during the run that the Raptors had, I was asked to make Kyle a gift. And what did I, he just started playing golf. And the gift that I made him was a nice golf bag that celebrated the Raptors championship. And we sent it down to Lake Tahoe to the American Century Golf Championship. And, he, thank you so much, Bram and Adidas, and, tweeted it out. And that was it. 6 months later, I got a call from DeMar DeRozan. Hey, I love Kyle's bag. How cool would that be? Can I get one? Sure. No problem. Hey, not a problem at all. So, so somebody who's in the biz and just make things happen, I put it together, and then COVID hit, a couple years later, and all of our events went away. And as an entrepreneur, I needed to figure something out as a golfing dad, put some food on the table. I actually put a pitch together, sent it down to Kyle when they're playing in Tampa. And Kyle's number 7. My favorite number is 7. And it was, I was born in 1974, 7 pounds, 7 ounces. We all love the number 7. So I pitched it to Kyle. I said, hey, want to be a brand ambassador in this new company I'm calling Custom Sevens, athletes and celebrities, branded golf bags. Away we go. He said, I don't want to be a brand ambassador. I'd love to be your partner. Oh, okay. Sure, cool. All right, sounds great. So, a few weeks later, I'm down in Lake Tahoe, and we've got the hats, we've got the sweatshirts, and we started making some bags. And that's really the, impetus of it. And now it's been something that, a couple years later has taken us sort of around the globe to make some, some pretty sweet things, and, tell you more about it. But that's the quick story.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you to the Toronto Raptors for sending Pascal Siakam our way to Indiana, where I'm at. We love him here, but also love watching the Raptors out there as well. So
it's amazing. We get calls where people be like, "Is Pascal any good?" Or in New York, it's like, "Is OG any good?" Yeah, these guys are great.
These guys are great.
You'll be just fine. Like anytime someone leaves Toronto, if the Blue Jays, the Leafs, wherever, they always succeed. So you're in good hands.
It's fantastic, and I love that basketball is huge here in Indiana, and that you're bringing basketball and golf together for this brand here. So was the goal always to focus on custom gear or just custom bags, or are you looking to do like your own line of bags to sell as well?
Well, I mean, I think that, you never know where something's going to lead to, but right now it's focusing on the custom golf bags. I mean, what we've learned really is that, it's a gift. People love, don't know what to get people. I look around in your backgrounds and stuff like that, and it's like, oh my God, I never thought of a custom golf bag as a gift for somebody. It never crossed my mind. I want to get an iPad. I want to get this and that. I mean, the impetus of this is I used to, see Brett Favre or LeBron get their teammates suits or iPads or, watches and whatever. So let's make golf bags the next big thing of gifting, right? And so it can turn into, we have the hats and we have the sweatshirts and we sell all these things, but we really want to focus on making sure that our bags are quality and we give the service to, to the people. I mean, those are the biggest things. So I think it's going to start with bags. Can we customize other things in the future? Absolutely. But right now we want to focus on making our designs the best of the best, for the golf bags.
They are fantastic.
Yeah. No,
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
I've been lucky enough. I've caddied here in Orlando. That's where I live. On the LPGA tour at the Tournament of Champions. They do at Lake Nona every year. And you have the likes of Grant Hill, Vince Carter, Woodson plays, the who's who of celebrities. I know you've done some stuff for a couple of those guys. The design process, obviously, for these guys is pretty cool because they've got all these highlights and things like that. Like I think you talk about Toronto and the Blue Jays. Like how cool would a bag be with Joe Carter's home run on it? Like you know what I mean?
I'll show. Actually, Steve, I'll show it to you. I already did it last year for him. So we already.
There you go.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
Hey, this is like Taylor's album release. He's showing us the bag.
Exactly. What do you need? You need Joe Carter's? I got you Joe Carter's. Yeah, we did it last year for him. It's a phenomenal bag to celebrate that home run. That's certainly 92. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, but what's the design process like for you guys when you look at to build? What's that process like if somebody's getting a custom 7 product?
Well, I want to say that a lot of research was done. You know, I looked at a lot of bags on the tour, and I looked at a lot of bags that were, you know, websites and stuff like that. And I wanted to be different. And the reason I wanted to be different is that don't call us just to put your number and your logo on a bag. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to tell your story, or if you're gifting it to someone, their story. So of course, that's how we got every bag tells a story. And the design process really became something where I wanted to get to know you. I want to interview you. So right now, if we were doing a bag process, we start with that interview process. I ask you 15 questions, from where you were born to what number to your nickname to high school to quotes and all these things. We bring in all those elements of stuff to tell your story, and we take all that information from this interview and we put that into our design. So that is the first part of the process. Second part is that you get to see that option, a couple options, and you get to say, I love that, I don't love that, I love this, I love, you know, and change it up a bit, because I want you to be part of the process. That's where it's not just a go online, pick a color and pick a number kind of, you know, company. We wanted you to be involved, and that's really important to me. And I think that brings me a lot of joy. We were on a call recently with someone who's like, Bram, I've got 15 bags in my garage. This is the first time anybody's actually asked me what I want on my bag. And that actually, you know, I mean, sensitive enough because we're dads, you know, it brings you joy. You know, it brings you, there's a lot of joy in that. It's not certainly, you know, selling this company for millions and millions of dollars right now. It's something that we actually love doing, you know, and we love getting to know people and telling their story. So the process is that interview, the design, and then of course we go into production and we ship. So that's really what, you know, in a way differentiates us from other companies.
That's awesome. I mean, I need you to make. I used to play golf. I've had the pleasure of playing golf with former Toronto Maple Leafs former head coach, and U.S. Olympic coach Ron Wilson, and I think he needs a custom Sevens golf bag.
He definitely needs that. We did one for Daryl Sittler, and I mean, I'd love to send that one to you. Daryl opened it up on his driveway, had a tear in his eye, and it was really beautiful because we take the time. I mean, it's not, again, just the Sittler and number. We really dig deep into that whole story. So
speaking of that whole story, what is it that makes your custom bag so different from other brands out there? Like, you're really diving deep into these personal things. So how do you make that difference from any other customization that's out there?
I mean, you know, really what we're seeing out there is a lot of companies just mass producing things and, you know, putting your name on it. Again, coming to us for a design and really understanding that we are creative people who, you know, want to make sure that it's different and that you stand out on the course, you know, as much as you want to be. There are certain people that want to be humble and don't want what, you know, and we're not just trying to throw things in a bag. We design them in a way that really people are always just like, this is beautiful. This is an art piece. This is something I don't even, like when we were in Tahoe, we've been in Pebble Beach, we talk to people, they're like, I don't even bring my bag. I'm like, where's your bag? We made it. It's beautiful. We need, you know, we need the likes on Instagram, whatever. And they're like, no, it's in my office. I love it. I don't want to take it out and ruin it. So it becomes that art piece, and it becomes, you know, that gifting play as I mentioned. But I think that's really what differentiates us, that you're involved, and it's the fact that you can pick and choose what you want on to be this. You can tell us. I try to really get things out of you. You might say, I'm from Indiana and I like the Grizzlies and I was at the All-Star game and that's it. But I'll be like, hey, what about that little card back there? What about your art? What artist do you like? And so I really want to just, you know, make it special for that one person. So I think that's what, you know, in-house right now, I mean, TaylorMade and all these other vessels, they do beautiful bags, and I'm not, you know, take away from that. But as a one-off, you know, we are really just focusing on that one person, that one time, to make it really special for them.
Steve's a big Taylor Swift fan, so he needs a Taylor Swift bag.
She needs a bag, and I'll talk to Travis, see what the boys are up to, and take care of it.
It's funny you talk about how people don't want to use the bags, say it looks so good. We joke, Wedge FX is a good friend of ours. He does custom wedges, and his answer is always, go and hit my wedges. I don't care. We can make another one. Like, it doesn't matter.
Mine are hanging on the back wall.
Yeah. So
I love it.
What's the wildest, like, most creative custom request you've ever had?
Oh, wow. I think, where we want to develop things to is I'd love to one day take someone's jersey and put it into the bag and stitch it in. Again, these are things we got to,
Nice.
push our manufacturers on. I think for DJ Khaled, which was really fun, I put a speaker in his bag. So when he touches it, it goes, another one, DJ Khaled, so I love, we did something for someone who owns airplanes, and we made, customized golf clubs that look like airplanes. There's nothing we can't do. So I think in terms of there are some limitations, but I think as much as I can push things, I think putting a speaker in DJ Khaled's bag for every time that he hits one, he pushes that speaker. So that was a little wild, but yeah, every time we're just trying to figure out new stitching or figure out how to emboss, do things, or just do different artwork. So yeah, we can, certainly have some fun, but not too much fun.
So on your site, you have a lot of your builds that are on there, and they are, like you said before, they're works of art. Like, they stand out. They tell a story that's there. Is there a favorite custom build that you have done that kind of stands out to you as one of your favorite? Like, you don't have to call it out. It's like trying to pick your favorite child, but is there one that kind of stands out a little bit more to you that you just love doing?
Yeah, I think the biggest one we loved doing was for Clint Eastwood. We went down to Pebble Beach and made one for Clint Eastwood, and that was something where being honest, that he actually sent a letter afterwards to say thank you for making it such a beautiful bag. We were,
Wow.
we took all of his movies and all of his winnings and all of just, again, to give it justice, I want people to see it, but I think making that for an icon, someone who I've watched all of his movies and so on, just really was pretty special for the reactions that we got, for the fact that everything was detailed. There's little Easter eggs in there, and there's so many different things that you can point out, being like, oh, I didn't know that. I never saw that. It's almost like being on some maybe drug-filled trip where you're like, I never noticed that. No, but but no, that was doing Clint Eastwood was a lot of fun, and certainly was one that I'll remember for a long time.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's
in case you guys are joining us now, we've got Bram from Custom Sevens on, the biggest guest on any podcast this week. Bram, you have that person call you, they realize they want a custom golf bag, but they don't even know what they want. They just know they want something special, whether it's for themselves or a gift for somebody else. And you've got the question and answer, but how do you guide them in that through the question and answer process?
Very simply, and just asking them certain questions, but then really just sometimes if I know who the person is, I can look them up on Google or whatnot, and really just bring things out. Do you remember that shot? Do you remember did you ever get a hole in one? Do you remember that for Vince Carter? Do you remember that dunk? What shoes were you wearing at this time? What Olympics were you in? I think I'm a pretty easygoing person, and I think that's the way I've been living my life, that it's just becomes a conversation. And when you have that conversation, people are much more relaxed, and they don't have to answer things right away. We follow up with an email and we say, hey, here's a summary of everything we just talked about. You can add in, you can take out, they'll remember things. But I really, again, just try to push them of, I know you love the Masters, but is there a specific hole you love? Did you love Amen Corner? What how many kids do you have? And do you have a lucky charm? I really want to just push to get all those things out. And they're like, what would be great is X. So I think that it's not just the questions, it's the demeanor of me trying to explain to them, hey, first of all, you don't have to answer everything today. This is not a rush unless you need the bag, in 2 weeks. But it's something where, we just continue to push and to try to I think just see what's behind them and say, hey, do you love that? And I never knew you could put that on a bag. I'm like, yes, give me a picture of it. I can draw it out. I can create. So I think that's the really the process of trying to get more out of them and just being very casual and having a normal conversation.
Oh, that makes sense.
So one thing that Steve loves to do on here is name drop.
I've actually been around Vince. I've been around Vince a lot, actually. Like Vince walks in, we're like, "Hey, what's up?" Like,
I just told you. I really just told you.
Like,
He loves the name drop.
I brought my wife to Tavern. He's like, "There's Vince. Hey, Bram, how are you?" I'm like, "Who is that Vince?" I'm like, "Yeah, big deal. What's up, man?"
So speaking of like Vince and some of these people that are out there, influencers, who are the big golfers out there that might be pro athletes, might be influencers? I mean, the golfing dads aren't rocking one yet, but we'll get there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But who are some of the big names that are rocking your bags right now, like in Tahoe or just out there in their casual rounds?
Well, we just did an awesome one in Tahoe for Dwight Freeney, from Colts. He was rocking that. Certainly Vince and certainly Kyle. Pat Mahomes has one. DeAndre Jordan.
Colts shout out here.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly. He loved it. We've done a few. We were at the Chevron Championships a couple years ago, and we did tons of CEOs that have our bags now. DeAndre Jordan got one. I'm trying to go through. We have a number of Canadian guys: Mitch Marner, Zach Hyman, great players who have them. I mean, a chef, Thomas Keller, who has big restaurants in Napa and all over, has one. Steph and Drake, they both have them. And, we are trying to certainly, again, we love the fact that we can do celebrities or athletes, but they're not just for that, them. It's for CEOs, executives, anybody who wants that penchant for a premium gift, So, so we have some good people right now out there rocking them.
That's awesome.
So somebody not rocking one right now, that like dream scenario, all of a sudden calls and is like, I want one. Who is it?
Oh, wow. I mean, for me, as there's so many people, but I'd love to go back to AT&T to Pebble Beach and make a bag for Bill Murray. I'd love to just do something as somebody. I feel like creatively, there's so many things that in my head that I could do with something with a bag for Bill to say thank you, to say I love this. But I love music and I love golf and I love movies, but I think Bill would probably be up my top 5 at least for sure.
Well, he fits all of those. His band was just playing at the Indiana State Fair last week. And unfortunately, I was out of town and missed it because I was playing in another golf outing.
Wasn't he playing bongos? He was playing he was playing. I saw a picture. He was playing the bongos.
Yep. He was playing mini golf on the mini golf course at the state fair. Like he was doing everything. I was upset.
There's somebody who but he wasn't, according to anybody, he wasn't there. According to himself, that's the legend of Bill Murray, right? He's not actually there.
Oh, my favorite Bill Murray story is he used to just go to people in a bar, knock the drink out of their hand, and be like, "No one's gonna believe you."
I love that. That's my favorite thing. Yeah, exactly.
He is a legend in my book. So,
well, right now, no one's going to believe me that I'm on your podcast, so it's just as big.
Hey,
they're not going to believe it. It's the biggest. It's the biggest podcast this week.
Yes. What were you doing last night? Where were you? We were calling you. But certainly, just on the Bill Murray side, but other than that, I mean, we'd love to get bags into having someone rock one in the house at the Masters and other places, of course. So it's for us. It's it's just who knows where it's going to go.
Well, that's where my next question kind of leads to is where do you want to kind of see it in 5 years? Like, where do you see this growing into being like in boutiques? Do you see it growing globally? Or is Scotty rocking one next year at the Masters? So
Scotty, we probably couldn't pay Scotty yet to rock one at the Masters, but the truth is, I guess you get to a certain point where, like I said, a lot of this brings you joy, and a lot of this brings me happiness to get the reactions that we are from people. So in 5 years from now, what I could see is a storefront in Miami in the design district saying, custom sevens. You walk in and you could afford it. And you say, hey, I want a custom bag for so-and-so. And we sit there and we talk and we interview and you design it. And that's our little boutique store. I mean, I don't see it. I love the fact that we're doing one-offs, but of course, to scale the company, we have to do more. We have to do more, for tournaments, doing 20, 30 bags. Like actually just behind you, Steve, we did the Hilton Grand Vacation bags in January. So we did 25 of those bags. And so that's where we could scale the company. And certainly we want to do more of those. But as long as you want to pay for that design and it's not just a cheap product. And being in private golf clubs and stuff like that, certainly where instead of, you walk in and you say, hey, I want to buy something for my husband or my wife. Well, what should we get her? Should we get her the new TaylorMade bag? No, we should, does she have this yet? Does she have a custom sevens bag? No. So get her that. And it's like, no problem. Right. So that's where probably 5 years from now is just keep making people happy with them and making people enjoy that experience.
Hey, a few months from now, are you going to be at the PGA show?
We're not in January, so I guess we're not going to be there. But I'm trying to, I'll try to get back to Pebble Beach and certainly any other tournament I can go to, waste management and so on and so forth. But no PGA show just yet.
Well, if you come down for the Hilton Grand, let me know, because I typically caddy the Wednesday in that, and I've caddied the tournament too. So there's a lot of moving parts in that my day job doesn't. I'm off the week of the PGA show, and then 2 weeks after that we host a conference here in Orlando. So that middle week is kind of like, they don't.
Hopefully we can get you carrying someone's custom 7 bag at the Hilton Grand.
I mean,
that would be great. So
hey, let's do it. I mean, we'll get Vince. We'll get Vince to get you one. I'll say, Vince,
you know what's funny is I actually know Vince's caddy, and I used to play a lot of golf together. I wouldn't take that away from him because I actually like his caddy. He's a good dude. So, So you guys are a pretty unique brand, and don't have. It's funny. When I found you guys, it's not like you have this massive following, but you guys have a great story and you have a great process. What's the one thing you want every golfer to know about your brand?
It's a great question. I mean, for us, Kyle's still playing one more year. I have an agency that I run doing events, which is pretty big. So, if I want, we want people to understand what they're getting. People have emailed us and said, hey, I want a custom sevens bag. How much? And you're like, it's not a $500 piece. It really isn't. Right. They have to understand the process. They have to understand what design time takes. They have to understand, what production time takes and so on. So it is not for the faint of heart, so to speak, but it is something that is, relatively to a pair of shoes that a woman might buy, or a purse or something in that realm. And I want people to know that if they're coming to us, they are getting something that we take a lot of pride in making for them, right? It's not just something we just want to throw a number up and a logo. I want to do something that stands out, that has them stand out, becomes a conversation piece, and becomes something that's memorable for them to say, wow, I love that, and here's why. So I think that, price, quality, service, you can't have all three. I think we have, pretty close to quality and service, and the price tag is a little bit higher than most.
Makes sense. It's a piece of art you're buying with these bags, and fun to have that out on the course.
Yeah.
So
and I don't take it personally. And I don't take it personally if somebody says, hey, that's not for me. That's okay, because we want to, go with the people who, technically can't afford this nice piece.
So if someone is looking for their own custom sevens golf bag, where can they find you?
Thank you. I mean, we're on the web at custom7s.com, Instagram at custom7s, and find us and just contact, and we get back to you pretty quickly, and we set up the interview and take a deposit, and away we go. And I think back to your question, Steve, it's interesting because we have never done a launch of this company, and I think that was one thing why we don't probably have. We've never actually gone out. It's just been all word of mouth so far. So I think this could launch us into the stratosphere. So I'm sure it will.
Again, it's the biggest podcast this week.
It's the biggest,
so,
exactly. So I'm going to call you tomorrow and be like, guys, I can't take all the orders. Greg and Steve, that's
what's going to happen. It's going to happen.
We're in business together. Yeah. Hey,
well,
Kyle's
Bram,
gonna call you tomorrow morning and say, like, hey guys, what are we doing?
Yeah,
And
no,
good luck
that's
to
awesome.
Kyle
So,
on the Sixers this season.
They'll need it.
yeah.
Is this recording?
Yeah.
Hey, I
Well,
said good luck to him. I mean, that's I got to root for my Indiana Pacers, but
always. Yes,
I'm a Magic fan. I'm a Magic fan down here in Orlando, so
I love it. If you do see Caitlin, I know she's a golfer, so tell her, hey, Custom Sevens.
I will.
love to make her bag.
Next time I get to see Caitlin Clark, I will be like, hey, I know you're a golfer. We want to get her on the show here. But
that would be great.
We will recommend a Custom 7 bag because I think she would absolutely.
We don't do
that.
complimentary bags, but for Caitlin, we might, throw
there you go, Caitlin Clark. If you come on the Golfing Dads Tavern, Custom Sevens is willing to work a deal with you.
Bag for you, all the fixings, everything you need.
There you go. Look at that.
Bram, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for, I know you're taking time away from your family, so definitely appreciate you joining us tonight, and hope you enjoyed this. And anybody out there looking for a new golf bag and want that custom bag and something special, reach out to Custom Sevens, because you're going to get a
work of art,
something that should probably hang in the Louvre. I mean, let's be real about it. So
thank you, guys. That means a lot. Thank you. This has been awesome, and wishing you guys good things, and hopefully we can meet in real life and
that'd be great.
Some golf.
Yep.
Cheers to that. So thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Bram.
Oh, I mean,
cool...
there you go, right there. Let's hook this up, Caitlin Clark. If you are watching our show, what are you doing? You should be resting up so you can get back to the fever. But if you are watching our show, Custom Sevens wants to do some work with you, and we will help negotiate that deal with you. But Bram, thank you for coming on. Thank you. Check out Custom Sevens. Right now, we're going to bring Dave back in and go right into odds with Dave here real quick, just because he's got some stuff going on. So let's get right into some odds with Dave. Brought to you by the Nikon rangefinder, which helped me out this week on the course. If you are looking for a rangefinder, the official rangefinder of the LPGA and the Golfing Dads Tavern, check out Nikon. It is a game changer out there on the course. So, Dave, welcome back into the show.
Hey, and as a proud current Iowan, I would fully support Caitlin Clark having a Custom Sevens bag.
Oh, I think a Custom Sevens bag with the Hawkeyes on one side and all of her accolades, and then the fever on the other side would be the
shot from the logo with the trajectory into the top of the bag. Yeah.
So, all right, Dave, we got the BMW, which for the longest time was played here in Indiana at Crooked Stick.
Yeah.
And has now started to move around and rotate a little bit. The organization that does a lot for this, does a lot for caddies and youth around the area of the Midwest, and a lot of scholarships out there. I have had some of their caddies caddy for me in my league that I used to play in, and they do a lot of great work in the community. But we got the BMW Championship this week. So who's number 2? Because we know who number 1 in the odds is. We'll just move on from Scotty.
We know who number 2 is.
Scotty's
last week.
Yeah, Scotty's just under 2.5 to 1. Rory's at 8 to 1. Xander at 18. The perennial bridesmaid, Tommy Fleetwood at 20. Ludwig at 22. JT at 25. Cantley at 25. JJ Spawn, Cameron Young at 30. I think that's a little high or a little low for JJ. I would expect him to be up more around the 18 to 20 mark. Russell Henley, Morikawa, and Goddard, and Ben Griffin, Matt Fitzpatrick, Sam Burns, and Victor Hovland, all at 35. Last week's champion and Hideki, and Corey Connors at 40. And team captain Keegan Bradley coming in at 45. So there you have it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we got to get back to Smack of the Week here in a minute, but
let's do our picks really quick.
I got a few minutes. I got a few minutes here.
Let's do your picks really quick. So you got a few minutes here, so just to get those out of the way. I picked first because I was in last this week, but I did make the top 50, so I stay in for this week.
Yes,
with a 44th finish. So I'm going to go with because maybe I'll have first pick again next week, And obviously, if it is, I'm picking Scotty next week for the final because Dave can't pick him and Steve will probably pick him this week. So he might just fall into my lap anyway.
Yeah.
Give me Colin Morikawa.
Ooh, good pick.
Oh, that's a bold strategy, Cotton.
It is, but he's into next week. I think he's playing better right now. I think this is a week that he can really break out and prove that he's in the right mindset to get us ready for the Ryder Cup. So give me Colin Morikawa this week. Prove me right, Colin.
I'm not taking Scotty this week. I was saving it in case I had the opportunity to take him next week.
This is why I took Scotty in week 1. I got it out of the way.
That was a good move, and you got your 15 points out of it. So it was a good move. You almost got 25. You almost got the win. So
yeah,
I'm going to take the guy coming off, the guy that's fresh this week. Give me Rory.
Oh, okay. Taking roars. All right, Dave. You had the top pick last week. You went with Scotty. Scotty's out for you. So Scotty's off the table for this week, so no one's got him.
So neither of those two were in my top. If I wasn't here in the list I would have sent you guys, neither of those two were in my top 3 picks. Which is kind of surprising. Yes, Bradley, kind of surprising.
Ricky.
I almost did take Ricky last week. I almost did.
You should have. Ricky's playing well.
Yeah. Give me JJ Spawn this week.
Wow. Ooh. From a playoff to a win, you think this week?
Wow.
I was gonna take Tommy Fleetwood. Those are my top 2 picks this week.
Wow. Bold choices.
But I am I'm gonna go with JJ Spawn this week.
I mean, I want to see Fleetwood do this at some point because he's playing good golf. He just is just not finishing.
Yep.
He's won on other tours, just the PGA. The getting to him. I think you saw last week. So, all right. With that, let's go.
Top of the smack of the week.
Smack of the week.
Bradley, there's a good chance that is or Hayden, that's a good chance that's possible.
100%.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And
I'm going to rewind this really quickly again. I don't know what's better. The wipeout or the flap.
And right now, you can save 50.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's smacked.
All right. Let's go into last call.
They got smacked.
Yeah.
So I want to bring this topic up just for last call here because we talked about it a little bit in first round. We talked about Ted Scott and Scotty and their relationship. So going into the BMW and going into these last round of the playoffs, Ted's not going to be there. We wish Ted and his family all the best in whatever they're going through. It is not our business what they're going through, but we wish them all the best here at the Golfing Dads Tavern. How important do you think it is moving forward here that the impact's going to be on Scotty if Ted can't come back over the next few weeks?
I didn't pick him this week because of that.
Okay.
I don't think I think it's going to be less of an impact than we think it's going to be. I think Ted's in Scotty's ear and everything else. You still got to give Scotty credit for being the number 1 player in the world. And I think coming into the next, it may not be this week, but I think going into the Tour Championship, Scotty is still number 1. I don't think it's possible that he falls out of that spot going in the next week. And we hope Ted is back on the bag, by the Tour Championship. But I think for Scotty and everything that he has said about his game and the importance of family to Scotty, I think Scotty's just going to go out there and hit a golf ball around and, be the dad and the friend, the dad that he is to his kids and the friend that he is to Ted. And I think at the end of the day, that's what matters most to Scotty.
Well, and the one thing that even the announcers are saying when Scotty's playing is, oh, he missed that, and he misses it by like a hair. Like his draw or his fade is just off and just missing. Scotty's going to play Scotty golf, which is he's going to hit amazing shots. He just plays what looks like average golf. He makes the game look easier than any player I've ever seen. We talked about it a few weeks ago with him and Tiger, where Tiger makes amazing shots because he gets himself into kind of trouble and then makes this amazing way out of it and could hit the most amazing shots, could do anything with a golf ball, where Scotty just hits a golf shot the way you're supposed to hit a golf shot. His footwork, maybe not, but
no,
it goes where he is exactly saying it. When it's off by a hair. I do think it has an impact on Scotty because I think it weighs on him that Ted's not there. It weighs on him that Ted's going through something. And I think that has the impact the most. But like you said, Dave, Scotty's still Scotty. And he's still going to be up there. He was third this week.
Because we saw it this week. What did he? He went out like only 2 or 3 under on Thursday, made another couple birdies on Friday, and he was in the top 10. And, he just, everybody else just went out on fire and then played,
he doesn't mess up. He doesn't miss. You're right.
Yeah.
He just keeps playing consistent golf. So
I did see more emotion out of Scotty this past week. His driver was not spot on this week. And I think it was on Friday. Like he was pretty vocal about every time he hit it in the rough, he got a bad lie. Like it was awful.
And even his putting, I think, was a big thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I do think that I think without Ted there to kind of be that calming voice when something bad does happen, like a bad break. I don't mean a bogey or double bogey. I mean a bad break to calm him down. Yeah. I think that is what is going to be the difference this week. And I think that it's, I do think it's a big deal. But I also think
Scotty.
It's golf balls. It's Scotty. Yeah.
He's got Chris Kirk's caddy coming onto the bag this week who has caddied all year long. And it's not just like, oh, this is my buddy, I'm picking up the bag for, this week. He's a caddy.
You've got a pro looper out there.
Yeah. You may have a little bit more psychological advantage, where he's in a, they've played rounds before and everything. So I think, from a mindset standpoint, he can talk to Scotty a little bit more, but we'll see what happens.
Well, to that, let's raise a glass to Ted Scott and his family, whatever they're going through. We wish you the best, and cheers to everyone. And check out Custom Sevens golf bags for a piece of art on the golf course.
Cheers, y'all.
Yep.
I'm really fortunate, man. I have an opportunity to build something that's
And remember, folks, use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at Desert Fox Golf. Also use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at golfish.com. Use code GolfingDads to get 20% off your order at Jacket Sunscreen. And use the Golfing Dads Tavern to get 5% off your order at FlightScope.